Hello and welcome to Phoenix Crypto. My name's Andy and welcome to another edition of Market Watch. So, what is going on in the world of Bitcoin and crypto? So, yesterday we had a bit of a move down. You can see that quite clearly. And this morning we're not looking too bad. We've got quite a weak set of trend lines here, and they are. Well, let me just turn that off for a second, and you can see that we've bounced off that, and then we are very close to a couple of the EMA lines, probably the 20 and the 50, I suspect. Now, I entered a trade, gosh, it was around about over here. I thought it was looking quite good, and the reason why is, let me just pull up VMC Morpheus. So the 1 hour had already gone above. It was somewhere over here. It's about there. But a 3 hour, this was a little bit further back, so it was around over here. But that looked very much like a very nice trigger wave forming and nice angle on that. So really like the look of it. I normally like to wait till the 4 hour is a little bit, is about to go above. And as you can see, the 4 hour is some way away. When I entered, I think it might have been a little bit further back. And we've just gone over the that candle close. So the 3 hour should have printed a green dot. Yes, VWAP over, so very positive. So that'll take another 3 hours to confirm. This will take, is close but not quite. I think if we move up quite a bit, it might just about get over, but really it'll print green, or it should print green on in about 4 hours time, and then confirm in 8. So I think we're in for some more upside. Not really a trigger wave here though, it's mostly on the 3 hour. But if you look at some of the other time frames, 6 hours just closed, that's looking very nice. 8 hours got a little bit more time left in it, but that's starting to form. 10 hour starting to form there, needs to come back up. 12 hour staying above the 0 line, which is good. 18 hour looking pretty bad, if I'm honest. I'm not sure how long that's got left before that closes, but perhaps we can get a bounce. That's possible. And the daily, coming down a little bit. But if we've got a good day, that can still do that. A lot could happen in the next 12 hours. So that doesn't unduly concern me. 2 hours looking very good, very nice trigger wave. 1 hour, at some point we'll go up and then we might come down and form a nice trigger wave on the 1 hour. I think we can probably get a better one. So that is something that I'm looking for. But right now though, I'm in a long position, and it's doing pretty well. I think when I last looked at it, I think it was around 195%. It's 186 at the moment, so it's gone down just slightly, but not bad, right? Not bad for it was this trade was only 0.5%. So it was before my usual entry. I normally wait a little bit longer, a little bit more confirmations. Something I was nervous over, particularly over here on a 30-minute, if I just zoom that in for you, is these EMA lines. So bounced, so that was looking a bit dicey there. You can see it hit all of these EMA lines, didn't like any of them, came down. Obviously we've closed and we've in 3 minutes moved quite nicely. We've got to get above these really. I would like to hope that the trigger wave, certainly on the 2 and 3 hour, will see us get above these. I think getting above the EMA lines is reasonably bullish. But context, bullish on a 30-minute time frame, which means not a lot when, if you look at the daily. Oh, I don't know why I didn't zoomed out. Clearly we're still on a massive downtrend, right? So, context is we are not out of the woods by any stretch at all. So, an uptrend on a 30-minute or an hour is good, but obviously, we are not out of this yet. Looking at the macro, now that we're on the daily, you can see here we've got, so that white line, which pretty much is the middle, is something I drew across from Wick. The red lines are from Trendline Pro by Lonesome the Blue. I highly recommend the indicator. You can get him on Telegram. I think he's on TradingView, obviously, because he's produced this indicator. So you can message him on there, and I think he's got a link to his Telegram account. So highly recommend it. Great indicator. And basically I've got it set up so that it shows a channel, as opposed to like a single trend line. So yeah, we've basically got to get above that line to really be confident. Interestingly, I drew this line here that goes all the way, goes to the September high, and it intersects nicely with the December low, and it's provided a bit of support. We've obviously tested below it but stayed above, and you look at this wick here, and that's just come down there. So that looks reasonably strong. Be interesting to see what we do. I think if we get close to well, firstly this EMA line will provide some resistance, and then when we get close to here, considering how many times we've rejected off it, we reject off this again, and we are probably looking at a sub. We're looking to come down over here. So to 30k. Now it'll be interesting. 30k can provide a bounce. It provided, over here, you can pretty much draw a box. If I can find the right, you could pretty much say that there is a zone of liquidity right there. So if we come down, it's highly possible that we get a nice bounce. Now, what will be important is, will there be enough liquidity here to give the bounce to break this trend line? This trend line at the moment is proving a bit of a killer. I will call it the most important trend line in crypto right now. We get above this, clearly there's a big upside. Okay, big upside. So this is what we're looking for. Now, it's also entirely possible, I thought 40k would provide quite good support. We got a great bounce here, but when we came back the second time, we ripped through it, right? Absolutely ripped through it. So what do we want to achieve here? And is there going to be enough? If we come down once, will that be enough to break it? And obviously, as it's descending, it's quite easy for us to hit it quite quickly a second time. At some point, these things are going to have to give. Every trend line breaks at some point, right? But that's what we're really looking for. That's the scenario. But in the short time frame, like I say, going back to 4 hour, just looking to get back over here and getting over some of these EMA lines. That's really what we're looking for. It is possible that the 1 hour, if I go to the over here, it's very possible that this actually ends up being a trigger wave for a move down, because that's how these things work, and that ends up, we end up coming down quite a bit, You know, this is not that far away. Can we hit it? You know, absolutely. So that very possible, very possible. You know, and we'll see what support. But you can see the line is being tested, right? You know, on a lower time frame here, drop below, rejected, rejected off here, gone above, tried to confirm above, drop below. You know, so it's proving challenging. It is proving challenging. So yeah, so but I'm looking for a green day today. I think that would be really good. For those of you eagle-eyed watchers, you'll see a new indicator on my screen here. This is Boom Hunter XL. Love that name. It's by a developer called Verify, I think. You know, he's on TradingView. There's a link to his website. You know, I'm on a free trial for 2 weeks. I think I'm a couple of days in. It's quite a it's an indicator with quite a big learning curve, I would turn around and say. So it's not massively straightforward. The idea is this is an absolute support and this is an absolute resistance. So part of the reason why I got into the trade is I saw that on a 4 hour we were coming round, you know, so that looked good. And on a lower time frame, you know, we were pretty close to that bottom and curving up. And these green dots are basically volume pressure points. So presumably bullish, you know, volume coming in. And this red line is support and resistance, and same as this kind of grey line here. And I've added Trendline Pro for indicators, again from Lonesome the Blue, on top to be able to auto draw my trend lines, because these also act as support and resistance. And you've got this green dotted line also acts as support and resistance. So here you can see quite clearly we are getting very close to hitting some resistance, and you know, there is a little bit more upside, but clearly there's that trend line which could cause this to come down. So that certainly helps a great deal. Looking at the 4 hour, I think that is a bullish, yeah. So if I can find the right, so that is a bullish pattern where it goes up. I think that's the right way, and then when it breaks there is the time to short, and you know, that would have been very nice entry, and you can write that down. And then obviously that gives you an idea of where there might be a level. Sorry, I have to apologise. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. The joys of having a young child who picks up every known thing from school, and is very generous in passing it on to his parents. So you can see, yeah. So so you know, this is a bounce point, you know, and this really helps actually provide good indications of where there might be a place where there will be some support. So you can see the red dots there providing some volume pressure points, and you can see these volume bars here. I'm by no means an expert in this indicator. There isn't really a YouTube guide, which I would absolutely love. I think the developers putting together a wiki, you know, with screenshots and things like that. And actually the page on here, if I go to if I can, there we go. So verified there. So I got his name slightly wrong, but you can see, you know, he's got loads of screenshots, some nice text, you know, and plenty of arrows to help explain. So, you know, it's a very interesting indicator, and what I like about it is that it's different, and I think different in indicators is good. It's providing a different lens, a different perspective to your trading. And it's nice to see where there might be support and resistance. I like the fact that this is showing direction, but also trend, right? So that there if I look from the 7th to the 12th or 13th, what trend was that? So that looks like it would be a bullish trend. Is that going to be right? Kind of, yeah. So that shows that quite nicely. Let me just squeeze that up a little bit. It's saying there that is an absolute ceiling over here, which is good. It doesn't quite do that for here, but it shows the move down. Doesn't show the pressure point, which is interesting. That's on a 4-hour. On a 30-minute, it might might look a little bit different. So on a 30-minute here, you can see that's looking like we're hitting some bearish pressure point there. So maybe that's a scalp opportunity to get in and short. That kind of makes sense because we can see these EMA lines providing a level of resistance. So that all sounds all looks good. Like I say, I haven't mastered it by any stretch. Big shout out to the developer. I think it's a very interesting tool. It's relatively it's well priced. I think it's $100 lifetime. So very, very tempted to get that. So really, really pleased with it so far, and very keen to kind of experiment further and see how it can help my trading. So yeah, absolutely. So overall, I'll close the video down here now. Looking for a green day. That's really the order of business today. Really looking for that. You can see it's trying really hard to get over that EMA. Just looking at my trade at the moment's doing quite nicely. Just closing in on 200%, which I can't complain at. I've been long from a number of other positions though. Just looking at them, my Sands trade is looking at about 900%. BNB 400. Cardano's down quite significantly. Did hit over 1,000%, but I'm sitting in it for a long term. DOT has kind of fluctuated a little bit, so it's a bit lower. 260. LTC 400. Link don't have the best entry, I guess, because it's only at around 50%, and I've been in that for a number of days. But looking to really sit in those and hold them for as long as I can to try and see if we can get some more upside. And they're fairly small positions, so if we were to come down to here, it would not be a problem. And I've taken most of the profit out now, so it's relatively minor, and they'll stop out at entry if we do dip. But I would just look to rebuy because they are good coins, good fundamentals, and I'd expect them to get more upside. And at some point we're going to break out of this, right? Don't know when, but we are getting close to that line. That's the only thing. So I think we've got some interesting days ahead of us. Probably the next week will hopefully tell us. We'll probably either have dipped down further or broken above it, I think, in the next week. So exciting, really. So yeah, if you like the content, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. It really provides a lot of support to me. Really appreciate it. Hope this is informative and useful for you guys. And if you want to ask me any questions, put them in the comments below and happily answer them. And you're welcome to join my Discord. Thanks a lot.